everyone, how are you?
Hi, I'm good, thank you.
So my name's Nick Cash, I'm the Deaf Village Manager.
Hi, and my name's Joshua Bentley, and I'm a client here at the Deaf Village.
So can you explain to us the barriers surrounding mental health and how they impact the wider deaf community and the impact on their mental health?
Yeah, so hearing people, they can call a helpline and receive support, but obviously for deaf people, we can't hear over the phone. Same for the GP, if we're making appointments, we need an interpreter, so it's just more barriers.
So how do you think this affects deaf people overall?
I mean, well, really, hearing people are at lower risk because they've got access to that support, but deaf people have those barriers that we mentioned before, which leads to a much higher risk of suicide. You don't have access to the information or the support, so that's an example.
I know you've mentioned to me previously about the lack of accessibility for deaf people when making appointments and things. Can you just explain a bit more?
Yeah, so I'd go to my parents and I'd ask them to contact the GP for me to make an appointment and to make sure that there's an interpreter there as well.
So why is it important to have that accessibility for deaf people, especially regarding mental health?
Well, it's a really big benefit for the deaf community because they've got an interpreter there that they can speak to. They don't have to rely on their family or their friends, and it makes it much less awkward. So yeah, that's great.
Have you had any experiences yourself around suicide?
Yeah, I had a friend that was struggling with the barriers that we've mentioned. Tried reaching out for support and couldn't access it.
So given that, how do you deal with everyday mental health struggles?
Well, really, I just deal with it through talking to my friends, going out, hobbies, just keeping myself busy, really.
So that having the knowledge then that a service like Papyrus is there and now is fully accessible for deaf people, that must be really reassuring for you.
Yeah, 100%. It'll benefit all of us if I can speak to an interpreter by going through the website, clicking a link. It's going to be a lot easier to have that conversation and get everything off our chests.
And of course, not just you, but the accessibility for deaf people around the UK as well. That'll be fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll help reduce the risk of suicide within the community and help improve mental health. I mean, what would we do without it? Carry on getting worse? If we have full access, that's the way forward.
So overall, having an interpreter will remove some of the barriers that deaf people really struggle with.
Yeah, it would be a major step forward. It really would. It would help with getting equal access for deaf people because the service is there.
Yeah, thanks for explaining that, Josh. As you can see, making a service like Hopeline fully accessible will be hugely beneficial for those in the deaf community who do need support. Currently, like Josh has explained previously, a lot of deaf people are left behind when it comes to mental health struggles due to the barriers that they face, leading to a loss of confidence and further struggles. Allowing deaf people to communicate their struggles in their own primary language will hopefully encourage them to seek the support they want and need and give them the accessibility to get it. So thank you, Josh.
Well, thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Take care.